Good evening, my beautiful people. I decided to say more on the current issue that is trending online about the destruction of Igbo businesses in Lagos. Sorry, Igbo residences in Lagos. You see, the destruction of Igbo residences is tied to the Igbo businesses, actually. Without the Igbo businesses in Lagos, there will not be Igbo residences. Now, we are then going to look into the mistakes the Igbo people are making in Lagos, because we are actually making a mistake in Lagos. We are being foolish in Lagos, and I'm going to give you practical breakdowns of the harm you are doing to the Igbo race by setting up a $1 billion economy in a hostile environment like Lagos. Let me tell you something. Before you set up an economy outside your place, you check that area. If it's an okay place, set up your business how you want to set it up. If that place is not okay, please don't take it beyond the level of small scale. Don't take it to medium scale. Don't take it to high level business. You are arming the Lagos state government. You are feeding them fat, and when they are fat on the money you give to them, they will stand up, use their bulldozer and push down your house, and you will not do anything. What do you want to do to the Lagos state government? You can't do anything. I will show you the harm of what you are doing in Lagos. Maybe it will force some of us to think, because some of us are not thinking anymore. I wrote something about an Igbo economic summit. We've not had an economic summit as powerful as we are economically. We have not sat down and discussed how we should conduct business in Nigeria. We have not. So in essence, we are people who are good at business, but they don't have a direction. That is how we are currently. So let me break down the damages you are doing to the southeast by setting up that level of business in Lagos. Now, have you ever sat down and asked yourself some very pertinent questions, some very cogent questions, some very important questions? Ask yourself, Lagos is the biggest economy in Nigeria. Lagos makes the most money in Nigeria. Lagos is the richest state by a mile. It is richer than any state by so far. It's richer than all the Niger Delta states where they make money, oil money, sorry. It is far richer than those states. Now ask yourself, how does the Lagos state government make that money? Now, you have an instance where the federal government shares allocation every month to all the states, and on average, Lagos state government receives about 15 to 20 billion. Now watch this. Your southeast states receive between 4 to 5 billion every month. Do you know what made the gap that wide? The market you set up in Lagos. The market you set up in Lagos is part of the reason why there is that big disparity in the revenue from the government, from the federal government to the states. One state is receiving between 15 to 20 billion, and your home state in the southeast is receiving 4 to 5 billion, and you are part of the reason why it is so, because you have set up such a big $1 billion economy and made Lagos a business hub. But that is just the beginning of your problems. That is the beginning of your error. Now, that is for federal allocation. That is one side. States have another way they make money, and that is what you call IGR. Internally generated revenue. That is IGR. Now, when you check the IGR, check online. The first 6 months of 2023, we are in November now. The first 6 months, January to June of 2023, do you know how much Lagos has made so far? Lagos has made over 400 billion naira. 400 billion naira in the first 6 months. If you divide that per month, that means on average, Lagos is making between 66 billion to 70 billion. Let's target at 70 billion. Lagos State is making about 70 billion naira every month. The federal allocation is how much? 20 billion. So Lagos State government is making 50 billion naira more than what the federal government gives them. I will go back to what is giving them that money very soon. But look at the southeast. Internally generated revenue on average per month. Go through the numbers. For the whole of 2022, the highest Southeast state got 33 billion naira for IGR. The highest Southeast state, the whole of 2022, 12 calendar months, it got 33 billion. If you divide it, it sums up to about 2.7 billion. Let's target at 3 billion. Now, what is giving Lagos State that amount of money? Your market, your Balogun, your Ladipo, your Alaba International, and the rest of them, big, gigantic billion-dollar markets you went to set up in Lagos, is what is giving them that amount of IGR. That high amount of IGR, 70 billion every month, they make it from your head. Nishigi, that is where they are making that money. How do they make this money? From taxing your shops. They will tell you, buy this sticker, buy that sticker. You carry your goods from one bus stop to the next bus stop. Agboro will charge you every bus stop that you are passing. They will collect money from you. All that money the Agboro guys are collecting from you, all that sticker you are buying, all that local government money they are collecting, everything sums up to 70 billion naira. A big part of that money is provided by Igbo people. A big part of that money is provided by Igbo people. If you check the share of that money the Igbo people are providing, it might be anywhere between 40 to 45 billion. That's about 60% of that money. If you check 60% of 70 billion per month, it sums up to about 40 billion naira. So in essence, Igbo people are slaving away for the Lagos state government. You are slaving away for them and giving them 40 billion naira. Now, when they take this money, they use it and develop their state. They use it to do their railway. They use it to make mouth from you that you are coming from the bush, because they know that the Southeast state is not as developed as Lagos state. So they insult you that you are coming from the bush. But you are the one who caused it, because the bulk of the money is made from the businesses you went to go and set up in Lagos state. You set up a $1 billion economy in a hostile environment. That was the big error the Igbo people made. And then when they develop their state, when they beautify their state, and they look at some part of the state and they see that Igbo people are dominating some part of the state with fine structures, that is to say, Igbo people are getting more of a share in Lagos state. What do? They take their bulldozers and go and push down your house, because they don't want you to have a share in Lagos state. But they count on you to continue to be a fool and leave your business for them. They want your businesses in Lagos state, but they don't want your houses. They don't want your property. They don't want you to make noise in the state. But they are counting on you to continue to be a fool and leave those businesses for them, so that they can make that money. Somebody is making 40 billion naira from you every month, from your businesses, your Balogun, Ladepo, Alaba International, and the rest of them. And then your Southeast states don't make anything. What they make is just about 1 billion or 2 billion every month. So what it means is that you are developing Lagos state at the detriment of the Southeast. You are developing Lagos state at the detriment of the Southeast. Because take, for instance, you take that market, or you take that money being made from your market, that 40 billion, and you share it across the Southeast state. If you share it across the 5 Southeast states, you get 88 billion per month. So in essence, instead of the 1 billion that the Southeast states are generating, the Southeast states will be generating 9 billion. 9 billion every month. That is almost times 10 what we are currently generating in the Southeast for IGR, if you move those markets. So you are developing Lagos state at the detriment of your own region, the Southeast. At the detriment of your own region, you are developing their state. And you are developing the state of people who don't like you. If these people were people that like you, that want you to be around, it would have been different. But they don't like you. They will insult you on top of the money they are making from you. They will call you an idiot on top of the money you are making from you. And when you build fine houses and they get bitter about it, they will use their bulldozers and push down that house, and you will not do anything. You can't do anything. What do you want to do to the Lagos State government? Nothing. Lagos State is more developed than your region. Why? Because you set up $1 billion economy in Lagos and you refuse to think. You refuse to use your sense. Now, let's go into something else. Now, consider this scenario. During the election, that was that February period, some were saying there was a lot of friction between the Igbo and the Yoruba people in Lagos, and they were telling the Igbo people to go back to their place. And some market leaders in Lagos, some Igbo market leaders, they started to consider moving the market, but at the end of the day, the thing all fizzled out because they are not serious, because they think that this is how we will continue to live. And Lagos will continue to develop by the effort of Igbo people, by the money generated from Igbo businesses, while your Southeast remains behind Lagos. And they will insult you. Now, let's look at something. Let's look at one scenario that I feel that the marketers in Lagos are afraid of. I think, if you ask me on my personal opinion, I think that some of the marketers in Lagos, the major marketers and the importers, I think what they fear is that if they move the market to the Southeast, I think they feel that another group will take over that market share. I think not losing their market share is what they are actually afraid of. But I will tell you that fear is unfounded. And you should not be afraid that you will lose your market share. And I will explain why. You see, when you come to business, there are different levels of acumen and expertise in business. Now, the Igbo people, or some of the marketers, I feel, they are afraid that if they leave or if they take the markets to the Southeast, there will be another group that will go in and take over that high-level business or that high-level importation. Let me ask you, who are the people that will take over it? Who? Who are the people who are capable of doing that? Who are the people who are capable of conducting $1 million business as the Igbo people are doing currently? And they will take over your importation from you. Who are the people? Kanjuno. Who are the people? Let me tell you what will happen if you move the businesses to the South. If you move those goods you are importing, the Yoruba people will consolidate at the retail level. What do I mean by consolidate? They will take over the retail level. They will become unchallenged at the retail level in Lagos State. But you see that importation, nobody can drag it from Igbo people. It's not possible. They don't have the wherewithal. You don't have the capital. You don't even have the acumen. People who have tried to, do stubborn and enter importation, they fell flat. Some of them died from it. Because hypertension will kill you. They will consolidate at the retail level. That is, they will now be unchallenged at the retail level. But every retailer needs somewhere he can get his goods in bulk. Where will they get those goods in bulk when they consolidate? I'm telling you that they will come to the Southeast where you have it in bulk and buy. Although the world is now modern, they will not even be trooping to the Southeast. They will call you, Chinedu, please send me 1,000 pieces of this thing. And you will send it. You in the Southeast, you will send it. Because that is where the bulk is. These market forces at play. That is where the bulk of these goods are. If you bring your goods in at Apapa, Tinkan, and you ferry them, you take them by trailer down to the Southeast, and they are there in bulk, I'll still tell you the effect in the Southeast. Because when you move the market to the Southeast, you won't move some. It's not a matter of one market will move and the rest will remain. The market leaders have to move all. It won't be a matter of Onya Aje, Onya Anon. No. You take all down to the Southeast. When those goods are in bulk in the Southeast, then they will request that you send, but they will be unchallenged in the Southeast. Fine, let them be unchallenged there. But stop setting up the bulk, that bulk of the business, that $1 billion economy. You have made the GDP of Lagos to go times 100 or times 1,000 of the size it's supposed to be normally. You are making it to grow bigger, abnormally bigger than it is or than it should be normally. Take the bulk of that business to the southeast. Let it be in the southeast. The southeast economy will now, have that times 100 times 1,000 effect. When you have that amount or that kind of business in the southeast, you are automatically driving down poverty. Now, when you take that market to the southeast also, there's something you must consider. They are Igbo, because these things some marketers do not know. There's a bulk of Igbo marketers in Cotonou, Benin Republic, along the Western African corridor. There is a bulk of Igbo marketers in Lome, Togo. There is a bulk of Igbo marketers in Tudu, Accra, and Kumasi. What am I trying to tell you? There are markets that the Igbo people will still be servicing, even when you take that market, when you take the bulk of that Lagos market to the southeast. These markets outside Nigeria still need servicing. Service these markets. They are there too. Even in Abro, Lagos. They are there too. And in these other countries, though I can't vouch for them how good their governance is, but I know there is a good level of sanity in those countries. That's why they are small African countries. I believe there is better, respect for law and order in those countries. Service these markets. Now, apart from the fact that nobody is going to take your market share, when you take that level of business to the southeast, there's also something you must know. There's a favor you are doing for our people. For those who are familiar with the business structure in the southeast, you will agree with me that there is a retail gap in the southeast. I told somebody this thing 3 years ago, that whoever is going to take advantage of the retail gap in the southeast is going to make millions of naira. There's a retail gap in the southeast. Do you know what a retail gap is? I don't know if that's the right word to use economically, but I'm just being practical here. There's a retail gap. What do I mean? Most of the time, when you want to get things in bulk, you want to sell at retail, but you need to get it in bulk, you will have to go to Onitsha or Arara International. You see, aside these two markets, there are other markets, of course, but the other markets, there's a good there's a good automobile market in Nnewi also. But apart from this Onitsha and Arara International, there is a retail gap in the southeast. It is not supposed to be that when you want to get some particular car part in Onitsha before you went here. It's not supposed to be. But that is the case in the southeast. It's not supposed to be that when you want to get a certain bulk of clothes, bales, you must get to Arara International. It's not supposed to be. No matter the state in the south, you must have to get to that place. It's not supposed to be. What does this mean? It means that the southeast is underserved as per markets. It is underserved. That is, it doesn't have enough major market. Check this thing if what I'm saying is a lie. Sit and consider it for a while, whether I'm lying or not. The southeast is underserved in business. That is what makes most of the time when you want to get some amount of goods, high number of goods, you need to get to Onitsha. You need to put your feet in Onitsha first. It's not supposed to be. Or Arara International, it's not supposed to be. They are supposed to be major markets. At least 3 major markets in every southeast state, if not 4. Lagos has about 10 major markets. Can you see now that the southeast states are underserved? What I'm trying to bring out here is that those markets you have in Lagos have millions of people they need to serve in the southeast that are not getting enough goods and services at their convenience. There are millions of people that are cut off from direct services, goods and services. They need to go far distances to Onitsha or Arara International. The southeast is underserved. It is underserved. When you walk on the streets of your community in the southeast, there is something you will notice. Some goods, small goods, you hardly get them on the street. You hardly get them in the shops on the street. You must go to Nkwo of that community or Oye, the ones that sell on Oye. You must get to the Oye market. You must get to the Nkwo market. You won't get it along the streets. That is what I'm trying to explain to you, that it is a retail gap. What it means is that there are not enough markets. There are not enough goods and services actually in the southeast. The southeast is underserved, and because it is underserved, it also adds to the prices of goods in the southeast. It makes things slightly more expensive because they are not readily available. So that is to say that that billion-dollar economy, those billion-dollar markets you have in Lagos, they have eager people waiting to patronize them in the southeast. You are making life difficult for our people in the southeast by taking the main markets that they need and putting it in Lagos. You are making life difficult for them. So that is to say, as you are moving the markets, there are people waiting for you to patronize you there in the southeast. Bring it back home. You are starving our people. You are underserving them. And also, you are enriching the same hostile people that are pushing down your property and destroying your businesses. You are feeding them fat. You are feeding their economy fat. They are feeding off you. After feeding off you, they will insult you still. After feeding off you, they will stop you from voting in their state election. After feeding off you, they will take the money and build capital projects in their state. And your own state is not getting enough money because you took your economy and set up in the land. That is wrong. I've already highlighted to you that once you bring those businesses, the IGR of the southeast will go up. Right now, as things are, you are developing Lagos for them. They are feeding off you. The market leaders of those big markets in Lagos must take up the baton now, plan and move back those big markets. Don't set up that size of market in a hostile environment. Don't do that. Don't do that. You are ruining the southeast. You are ruining Igbo land. Because that money you are circulating in Lagos, when you bring it to the southeast and circulate it, it will get to everybody in the southeast. Automatically, you are pushing up the earnings of the average person in the southeast. You are pushing up the earnings. When you push up earnings, you are pushing down poverty. Poverty in the southeast is lower than every other place in Nigeria, but it needs to be pushed down more because there are still some of our people below the poverty line. People should start to think. What the reason for making this video is to help people to think. It's like I'm trying to direct you. It's not exactly how I say it is how you must do it, but I want you to think in that direction. Fine-tune this thing I'm telling you. Fine-tune it. Sit down, brainstorm, fine-tune it, and take a decisive action. Stop crying on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, making videos. Oh, forget that time. It's not going to stop. Don't think that one day their mind will change and they will stop. They are going to continue doing it. Take the bulk of those businesses, not one market, not two. All the major markets controlled by the Igbo people, take it down to the southeast. That market share you are afraid you will lose. You will not lose it. Nobody is going to take over importation in this country from Igbo people. It's not possible. Aside from that, consider the markets in Cotonou, consider the markets in Lomé, Accra, Tudu Accra, Kumasi, Abidjan. Allow the Yoruba people consolidate at the level of retail in Lagos. Let them take over the retail, no problem. When the container lands at Tinkan, at Apapa, when you clear it with the customs and everything, don't take the vehicle down to Trade Fanga and offload it. Take the vehicle down to the south. The market leaders of these major markets must take this decision. It is in their hands. They must take this decision. Not one market, not two. All the markets, move them down. Go and improve our economy in the southeast. Our GDP, our IGR, everything will go up. Go and do that. I'm trying to point our people in a direction. Please, consider this thing. Because those houses you are building, I don't know what to tell you again. If after the threats you received during that election, that presidential election, you did not learn something, I don't know when you will learn. I will stop it there.